I got a new toy for Christmas, and hopefully I'll be using it on Bug. Hey everybody, it's Sunday. I'm getting back at it. I need to get Blueberry outside, and then I can get room for Whatabugger to start working on the interior floor pan. So I need to remove the passenger seat first to gain access to the floor that's left. I need to take my grinding wheel and start cleaning up all the edges on there. I'm gonna shoot some primer on it, probably out of a rattle can, and then prep it for the pans, which are up above there on the second floor I built. I need to grab the pans from up there and start doing some initial test fitting. I gotta get down below on the Bug to start taking off all the screws and brackets that are under the bottom and see if I can't separate the body from the pan. I've never done this before, so I'm just gonna get under there and start removing some items. I've heard that you can do it with the body still on it. And if not, I'm gonna have to go a more difficult route of lifting the body from the front. So I'll probably build some sort of jig to raise the front end of the car where the bumper brackets are, and the rear end of the car where the other bumper brackets are, and do some sort of rotisserie type of jig, or just build my own, maybe out of some wood, some 2x6, some 2x8 wood to hold it up, maybe some jacks to get it off the body. But either way, I gotta weld that in. I also wanna say that I did get my Hynade welder in from Amazon. I might be doing a review on that. I don't know yet. If anybody's even interested on looking at that. I was going to buy a smaller Hynade welder, just a regular flux welder, for about $125 during the Black Friday event, but I decided against it. I really wanted to get a larger one that could do gas as well. I haven't picked up a gas bottle yet. I'm thinking about doing it. I just don't know of the welding services that are around here that offer the bottles. So I need to kind of research that a little bit more, try to figure out what companies here help welders out and where I can get my supplies from to start doing that. I haven't welded since I was 16 years old, so it's kind of getting back into that, trying to figure it out. I also know that the floor pans are thin gauge. It's not like other cars. You can just kind of weld on it and it'll tack to it. This one's really thin gauge metal, even for the floors. All these parts are really hard to get right now. I've been waiting months to get these floor pans in. It's been delayed and delayed, and so I ended up actually buying 50s, 60s model of floor pans that are thin. I'm going to drill out the welds for the seat brackets and then put in my 70s style seat brackets to get that in there. And I still haven't even decided whether or not I'm going to change the seats. There's some guys who are putting in Miata seats, something more designer, so I don't know yet. I have all the stuff, the back seats, the front seats, so I don't really want to change them right now. I just kind of want to get new floor pans in and then kind of decide later on what I want to do with that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna pull out the cars and try to get some room to this passenger side so I can start recording. All right, just in case for the YouTubers, commenters, protection, gloves, eye protection, and hearing. I won't be able to tell you what I'm doing because it's gonna be too loud.
not to cause a fire. So, yeah. Some of that action. And a blanket, because I'll probably be sleeping in the garage working on this for hours upon hours, so kind of important to keep warm during this 40-degree weather. So this is what I'm trying to do here, is grind down this rust until it's all silver, just metal, no rust. There's a lot of it. And the other thing is, down here, I think there's supposed to be an edge lip that is supposed to be the area where the new floor pan rests on. But on this side is where all the bolts and hardware come off from under. And all this is just areas to cut myself on. So I kind of want to be careful. The other thing is with this floor, I need to not to destroy these. So I'm going to have to drill out at some point. And I can't really see the welds there, the press welds. So I might just have to cut out around and then go back later and try to use this video as placement. I could also measure a little bit, but at this point I need to remove all of these from the underbody, and they're all over the place. So I'm a little bit worried about what is going to come off and what is going to stay on. So I might start cutting and replacing the pan. Right here, it looks like it's two pieces. On the new one, it comes with this triangular portion right here. So I want to just lay the pan in and weld in what is only needs to be replaced. I don't want to do it just to do it and take up any more time. Now on the driver's side, I could have done a patch panel, but I did buy a new one. I might hold off on this one for now, just because the seat does bolt in and I can move it back and forth. But for the passenger side, I definitely want to try to get started on removing some of this material here that wasn't quite finished. So I do need a cutting wheel on this as well. So I also have this bad boy here. I'm going to try this and see if this gives a better result than before with the grinder. Results are coming up better. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but you can kind of tell the metal is shinier.
Except where the pitting is at, the pitting is along the entire strip, so nothing I can do about that. I will try to get out as much as I can. But in general, I need to clean up this edge because this is where most of the pan is going to be resting on. The front area, not so much. And this side, of course, is bulb, so I don't really have to clean up that. The back, I still haven't decided. I need to clean it up. I do need to measure about a half inch here. It's pretty much what he chose, so I'm going to try to stick with that. I might even use a jigsaw cutter, which mine is broken, or the one that my brother left here is broken. So, man, I just don't know if I can get a cutting wheel in between there. That is very tight. It kicks a lot already as it is, so it's going to be pretty difficult. Well, let's try it, see what happens.
You'd think, since I got this place cleaned up now, where I have my tool drawers side by side, that I'd be organizing and be able to find stuff, but like everybody knows, a 10 millimeter is hard to find. I'm assuming this green 13 millimeter is gonna be one of those ones where I'm gonna set it down and not be able to find it, just like a 10 millimeter. Now, I found all my 12s, all my 14s, my 10s, but I don't normally use 13s on BMW, Honda, Acura. So at this point, this is gold to me. I'm gonna have to use some tie straps and hang it on a wall every time I leave this garage. Otherwise, I gotta go through all of that again. At least 10 minutes of trying to find this. All right. Under the car, this is what I mean by pulling all the hardware out. I'm gonna hope that when I do remove these, none of these break off into there, because then I'm gonna need to buy a stud extractor or bolt extractor, and I just don't want to do that. And this is what I was talking about, tetanus. This is what I have to deal with. I'm wearing pants now because it's cold, but I've been stabbed a couple times and my arms have been severely scratched over the course of working on this car. But I need to kind of be careful with all of this. So as we go along, you will start seeing every piece I need to remove off of here just to get this side pan off. I might actually lift this up just to get some more clarity on this. Whew. Oh, it didn't snap off. One down, a bazillion more to go. I need my air impact. Ow. I need my air impact, but unless I lift it up, which I kind of am starting to think that's a little bit more dangerous, just because there really isn't support for it. Maybe by the middle of the tunnel there is, but I'm not quite sure at this point. If I do lift it up, there might be no return back from lowering it back down once I take the pan off. So whatever I decide to do is going to have to be well thought out with floor jacks and how high it needs to be. This is the floor pan. This is the one that I purchased. You can see the railing and where I'm going to be removing the hardware from the original one. So this edge lip needs to be sitting on the original edge lip of the floor pan area where there's support. This side will just be, it's really flimsy, will be supported by, again, a small edge lip. You can see here the trays may not be the same. I'll have to look. It actually may be identical. They mentioned that they were slightly different. Could be here. And also down here, I've thought about separating off the floor pan. I don't want to take this original one off of the body or the pan portion of it. So there is a separation. So I'll have to find all the press welds, like here, drill it out, and make my cuts pretty conservatively to make sure that I can re-weld it back on. But this is what I mentioned too. You can tell here, this is a thinner gauge. All the ones with wrinkles like this, for me, at least from what I've seen, are the thinner gauge. I'd really like something really thick, maybe 18 or 16 gauge. There are some more expensive ones available for like 500 bucks. And I just don't know if I want to be in it that far just to repair this. I just wanted to get it up and moving. So I didn't really want to spend too much on the body of it until I get started doing the wide body flares on the fenders. Then I'd start worrying more about the quality of or thickness of metal. And even then, it's only going to be during the welding process that would really matter about how thick it is. So these are also a little bit thinner, I think lower quality than the original ones. As I'm removing the hardware, I'm starting to see that this replacement pan, you know, just has this one press weld there. I might have to hit that up all the way around. I just do not want to be lifting this car by this original OEM method and having this press weld just fail during a lift, especially after the car is fixed and bodywork's being done. I'd hate for it to just fall and crush some fiberglass or metal work. So that's where I'm at on this. I still need a lot of cutting to do. Unfortunately, I don't want to record everything with the with all the hardware being removed. It's just going to be repetitive, and I don't think you guys want to watch that for too long. All right, I've been working out here for a little while. Wife says take a break. Chicken sandwich is on the plate, so I'm gonna go in, take a little break. I did get all the bolts off. There are the hardware bolts I was able to get off. I did end up using a electronic method of removal. My percentage of success would go up with that versus the old archaic method. So making some progress. My daughter brought home this pencil, cool pencil from a friend, and she asked to sharpen it. So I used a razor blade to sharpen the end, and unfortunately there was only maybe 1/4 of an inch of lead in there. So I did a little bit of a fix since her pencil was broken. I took a piece of real pencil and I found the right diameter of drill bit, and I was able to drill it out and shove and glue in a new pencil lead. So this is my quick MacGyver fix for her because she wants to use this for the holiday. And it's pretty cool that her friend got her this present, and hopefully she can use this at least for Christmas and writing out letters. But yeah, anyway, drilled a hole right through that thing straight down. There's a body seal here that I need to separate out here, and I think this will eventually come down. There's not much support left for it, so I need to pry a long the entire body all the way to the back. So this is my progress so far. I've separated it, and the body seal is actually staying on the body, and I just need to keep prying along each way. It is coming down, so I'm fairly lucky that it's coming down, and I'll still have to start cutting pretty soon. Expose the body line here where I'm gonna be looking for the press welds and cutting this, or I'll just make a fine line of a cut here and around to give a nice edge lip for the new pan to sit on. Haven't really decided how much material I'm gonna take off, but right now there's a ton of this body sealer that requires lots of work, lots of scraping. So I'll get to it. I'm a little bit out of breath here, but I decided to play it safe, so I used my stands here to raise the rear, and for the front, jack stands. Whew. So now I have more than a foot of room to start doing the cutting. So right here, right there, that body line, you can see it now. I'm going to make that cut there. And then I need to be careful to not take too much or hit the body gap. I'm gonna just reuse the old seal, maybe do some, what is that called? Seam sealer as well. And get that straightened out. Wire wheel it once I get this portion off. But right here is a seam. So I need to take a look at the new one. As it's coming down and around, it kind of folds over, so this one's giving it a shelf to sit on. So I either need to drill it out or I need to cut here and grind back a little bit just to give it some place to sit. I don't want to cut away this portion, which will be the support system for the new one. Otherwise I'll be welding in some little pieces. So I would definitely want to try to avoid that. And it's also looking like the floor pan is from an older generation versus a newer one. I was looking at the seat rails. They should be different on a 71, but I'm starting to look at everything and thinking maybe I did get lucky with buying these floor pans and I won't have to do much. I did want to drill these out and reuse this thicker gauge lift point, but I'll have to do it off of it. I have to decide when it's off. So I'm gonna get started cutting here. I probably won't record some of the cutting. It's gonna be intrusive and lots of sparks. So I'm kind of unsure how it'll come across on video, even the stuff I've previously recorded. All right, so now I have cut it, and it's not perfectly straight. I'll have to do some cleanup. I just have this corner here that I can't reach. So some progress. It's basically loose, which is great. I put a few bolts back in here just to stop it from falling on me. I'm halfway there, guys. Look at that. Cut it out, and my biggest hurdle right now is getting the body separated there at the front to pull out just this area right there. There's like an edge lip that I think it sits on around right here, and I have to get the old one out. And I don't think they tack welded it, but I could be wrong. But I'm gonna try to pry and get it off. If not, I'm going to cut it, at least to get it out of the way, and I'll see if I can't shove in the new one, figure it out. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm at right now. I have gotten to this point where I'm kind of stuck, and you can kind of see there that the body and the pan have separated, but there are some areas right here that it extends a lot further than the new replacement piece, and it's kind of welded. I don't know if it's press welded or not, but I might just end up cutting it off so I can get it out of the way, and then I'll have to figure out how I get it on. There might be another episode. I have some other obligations I need to do, so at this point I'm gonna have to start putting up and clean up and get cleaned up.